Welcome, everyone. Get ready, because today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of plants.
That's right, we're going beyond just the flowers and trees.
Exactly. We're going to unlock the secrets of how they power themselves.
With sunlight, we're talking about photosynthesis.
It's like they figured out how to make food from thin air. Incredible, right?
Absolutely. It's a fundamental process that supports nearly all life on Earth.
So we've got a chapter from a biology textbook as our guide today.
And we're going to break it down like detectives uncovering the clues of how this process works.
Sounds exciting. Okay, let's set the scene first.
Sure.
I remember learning about the carbon cycle in school.
Right.
Carbon atoms moving between living things and the environment.
Yes, the carbon cycle.
Where does photosynthesis fit into this whole cycle?
Well, it's a vital part of the cycle.
Oof.
Photosynthesis is how plants take carbon dioxide from the air
Okay.
and use it to build their own bodies.
Wow, so they're like carbon capturing machines.
Exactly. They use sunlight as the energy source to power this process. And as a bonus, they release oxygen.
Essential for us humans.
Yeah, without oxygen, no us.
So if plants keep taking in carbon dioxide, do they just grow forever?
That's where the other half of the cycle comes in. Respiration.
Respiration.
All living things, including plants, use it to break down the sugars they've made.
Okay,
This releases energy to power their cells.
got it.
And in doing so, they release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere.
It's like a perfect balance then.
Precisely. The cycle goes on, ensuring a continuous flow of carbon and energy through the ecosystem.
Okay, I think I'm getting it.
Great.
But how does light actually play a role? I mean, we see it, we feel its warmth,
Right.
but how can it be used to build things like sugar molecules?
That's a great question. It all boils down to the nature of light itself.
Okay.
Light isn't just one thing. It has a sort of dual personality.
Personality, how so?
It acts like both a wave and a particle.
Whoa, that sounds a little confusing.
It is a bit mind-bending, but stay with me.
Okay.
The wave model explains things like color. Different colors of light have different wavelengths.
Like different notes on a piano.
Exactly. But to understand photosynthesis, we need to focus on light's particle nature.
Particle nature.
Think of light as tiny packets of energy called photons.
Photons.
Yeah, they're like little bullets of energy.
Okay.
And the amount of energy they carry depends on their wavelength.
So shorter wavelengths, like blue light, have more energetic photons.
You got it.
Oh.
And plants use these energetic photons to power photosynthesis.
I see, I see.
Good.
How do they capture these photons, though? It's not like they have tiny solar panels, right?
Not solar panels, but something just as amazing.
Okay, what is it?
Pigments.
I have pigments.
Molecules that absorb certain wavelengths of light.
Like a colored filter.
Precisely.
So I'm guessing the key pigment for plants is chlorophyll.
Bingo. Chlorophyll is what gives plants their green color.
Ah, that's why leaves are green.
Exactly. It absorbs red and blue light, reflecting the green wavelengths that we see.
So they're reflecting the color they don't need.
Right. But chlorophyll does more than just give plants color.
What else does it do?
It has two main jobs:
Okay.
capturing those energetic photons from light
Uh-huh.
and converting that energy into a usable form to power chemical reactions.
And these chemical reactions ultimately create the sugar.
That's right.
So chlorophyll is like the key player here.
Absolutely.
But where does all this happen inside the plant cell?
That's where we head next.
All right, then let's move on.
Sounds good.
So we've got these chlorophyll molecules capturing energy from light,
Right.
and now we need to figure out where all this action happens.
Yeah.
Is there a special place inside the plant cell for all this, like a mini food factory?
You got it. It all takes place in an organelle called the chloroplast.
Chloroplast. Okay,
Think of it like a bustling factory designed to harness sunlight.
a microscopic factory, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What makes the chloroplast so special?
Inside, you'll find these intricately folded membranes called thylakoids.
Thylakoids.
They're stacked up like pancakes. And they're studded with those chlorophyll molecules ready to capture photons.
So the thylakoids are like the solar panels of the plant cell.
That's a great way to think about it.
Cool.
But there's more. The thylakoids are surrounded by a fluid-filled space called the stroma.
Stroma?
It's like the factory floor where the final assembly of sugar molecules happens.
Okay, so we've got light energy captured by the thylakoids.
Yes.
And then in the stroma, the sugar is actually made.
Right.
But how does the energy get from the thylakoids to the stroma?
That's where things get really interesting. Within the thylakoid membranes, the chlorophyll molecules are organized into photosystems.
Photosystem.
They act like energy funnels, channeling energy from captured photons.
Like a bucket brigade.
Exactly.
Huh.
The energy hops from one chlorophyll to the next,
That's right.
losing a bit of energy with each jump, until it reaches a special pair of chlorophylls called the reaction center.
The reaction center is like the end of the line then.
Yes. It uses the collected energy to split water molecules.
But water.
Releasing oxygen in the process.
Wow.
And here's the key part. This splitting of water generates energy carrier molecules like ATP.
So it's like a tiny power plant fueling the rest of the factory.
Exactly. These molecules like ATP are like tiny batteries storing energy from sunlight.
Incredible. We've got light energy captured, water split, oxygen released.
Right.
But where does the sugar come in? How is it made?
That's where the stroma comes in. Remember that factory floor we talked about?
Yeah.
That's where the Calvin cycle happens.
Calvin cycle.
A series of reactions that use energy from those ATP batteries to convert carbon dioxide into glucose.
Glucose being the building block of sugar.
You got it. It's a complex process, but the end result is glucose, the plant's food.
The Calvin cycle is like the assembly line then.
Yeah, a great way to put it.
This is amazing. It's like a perfectly orchestrated symphony of events,
It really is.
all happening inside this tiny chloroplast.
An incredible world, isn't it?
It is, I have to admit, it's a lot to take in though.
I understand.
Why is it so important to understand all these details?
Well, because photosynthesis is the foundation of nearly all life on Earth.
Really?
Without plants capturing sunlight and making it into chemical energy, we wouldn't have food or oxygen.
So we owe our existence to this process.
We do. It's quite remarkable.
Okay, so plants are like these incredible energy factories making glucose from sunlight and carbon dioxide.
That's right.
What happens to all that glucose, though? Do they use it all up right away?
Not necessarily. Some is used for growth and activities,
Okay.
but a lot of it is stored for later.
Like a pantry full of snacks.
Exactly. They convert glucose into larger carbs, like starch.
Starch, like in potatoes and rice.
That's right. Starch is a long-term energy storage molecule for plants.
It's like their savings account.
A good analogy. And those starchy foods we eat get their energy from the sun captured by plants.
Wow, so when I eat a potato, I'm basically eating stored sunlight.
You got it. It all goes back to photosynthesis.
This has been amazing learning how plants use sunlight to create energy.
It really is mind-boggling.
It is from a tiny photon hitting chlorophyll to the reactions in the chloroplast.
A true marvel of nature.
I have a whole new appreciation for plants now.
Me too.
They're not just decorations, they're these bustling energy factories.
Quietly fueling the world.
Exactly. And understanding photosynthesis is crucial for us,
Absolutely.
especially for challenges like climate change and food security.
It's true. By learning from plants, maybe we can find new solutions.
Yeah, like using photosynthesis for clean energy.
Or more efficient food production.
The possibilities are endless.
They are.
Well, I think we've both learned a lot from this deep dive into photosynthesis.
I agree.
It's a reminder that there's always more to discover.
Even in things we think we know.
Right. And it shows the power of curiosity
For sure.
and the importance of exploring the natural world.
Who knows what other secrets we might find.
So until our next deep dives, keep asking questions and keep learning.
And keep marveling at the world around us.